please stop scrolling. What you're about to learn has taken me almost 40 years of real estate investing. Since the age of 14, I've been buying, renovating, and renting real estate. Now in 5 different continents, 15 countries. I've helped the number 1 or number 2 real estate developer grow their businesses. We've done over $6 billion in real estate. But the innovation you're going to learn about today is incredible. This is the most important development in real estate in over 40 years, and I'm so excited you're going to join me. Yeah, I think that people have changed. If you think about pre-pandemic, most of us weren't able to work from home. Today, the majority of people that would buy second homes can work from anywhere. So for the first time, in our lifetime, you don't have to go to the office. Or if you go to the office, it's rare. They're talking about mandating now 4-day work weeks, in places like Ontario, which is a pretty conservative place. So all of a sudden, for the first time, in human history, we're no longer tied to a physical location for work. We can work from anywhere. Now, again, this is not true for everyone, but for most white-collar professionals, our typical customer, they can now work from anywhere. And this has become very, very normal. So to give you an example, about a week or so ago, I was in Portugal. And when I met digital nomads before pandemic, they were kind of cool, young, backpacking people through Europe. Now, when I meet a digital nomad, they're investment bankers, they're hedge fund managers, they're top partners of law firms, and they happen to be staying at like a Selena hotel, which is designed for people like that. And they're decided we're going to spend a month in Mykonos, then we're going to go spend a month in Portugal. They literally have decided they can work anywhere they want. But the profiles has changed. These aren't young people with low incomes. These are, people at the top of the food chain, people making, tremendous incomes, but for the first time in their life, they can work from anywhere. So it's a very exciting time. So why I believe second homes have gone up so much in value is 2 reasons. One is all the second homes had 4 or 5 bedrooms. They were immediately taken off the rental program. So they weren't on Airbnb, they weren't on VRBO. Why? Because the second home owners started using them as their primary residence. So all of a sudden, inventory vanished. Secondly, because these people were using these properties, there were far fewer listings than ever before because people were actually using the second home. So we had a real supply issue. There weren't any of these for rent, there weren't any of these to buy, and that's why you saw prices go up 50%. And they continue to go up. Because the world has changed, and the fact that we can work from anywhere, why wouldn't you want to live in a beautiful second home destination? Again, if you could work anywhere, why would you want to work in a cramped, downtown condominium if your second home is much bigger and nicer? So co-ownership is not that unusual in real estate. So give you an example. In commercial real estate, which is, a multi-trillion-dollar business, most buildings are not owned by a single person. The vast majority of all commercial real estate on this planet is owned with the following structure. It's owned in a corporation, and the corporation usually has multiple shareholders. So all we've done at Casaco is we've taken the same premise as commercial real estate, which again, because these are expensive buildings, we've done the exact same thing. So we buy a single family home. Again, this is not a condominium, this is a single family home. And we're putting that in the structure, the same structure you use in commercial real estate. We're buying it in a corporation. So in the US, they call it an LLC. And then with that LLC, we have a maximum of up to 8 shareholders. So what happens is now all of a sudden you can purchase that home at 1/8 the cost. Because the reality of a second home, most people can't use it full time. The average second home user is using it less than 10% of the time. So to purchase an asset that you're only going to use 10% of the time and to spend 100% on it doesn't make sense. So we're sort of right-sizing the investment. So to give you an example, if you bought 1/8 of a vacation home, that would still give you 6 weeks. And 6 weeks is usually more than most people use their vacation home. But you're paying 1/8 of the cost initially, and you're paying 1/8 of the cost to maintain that home. So that's really the magic of co-ownership, and that's why it's so exciting, and it's exploding around the world. In the past, we had something called fractional real estate, we had timeshares, but they were different. They were typically run in a hotel-like environment. So for example, we were involved in marketing Four Seasons fractions. Well, they were amazing and customers liked it. So they're buying weeks in a 4 seasons, but they didn't actually own the real estate. What they were able to get is they're buying time. And again, our customers loved it. The challenge is their real estate investment never went up because you're dealing with thousands of owners that own these weeks in this resort. So if the resort changed ownership or if it went out of business, there's no intrinsic value there. What we're doing is very different. We're buying single family homes. There will only be up to 8 owners, and it could be as few as 2 owners, and you own the asset, you own the real estate. We don't own any of these homes. We're managing it for our owners. We're aggregating the customers. We're helping those deals come together, but we're not taking ownership stake. The owners own that property, and they can sell their shares, a year from now or 2 years from now, and they set the price. So it's very different than what people have seen in the past with fractional ownership or timeshare. But I think that once people understand this is the future of how all second homes are going to be sold. So the biggest question I get asked is, well, how is this different than timeshare? So first of all, I'll tell you that millions and millions of people own timeshare, and they actually like it because timeshare forces you to go on a vacation. So if you bought 1 week of timeshare or 2 weeks of timeshare, most of the people that we've surveyed actually like it because it forces them to go on a vacation. The downside of timeshare is it's not a real estate investment. You are buying time in a hotel room. So because of pandemic, 2 things happen. One is a lot of people don't necessarily want to go to a hotel room. And in a hotel room, it's hard to get extended family. It's hard to bring your friends and family, your parents, and stick them in that, 1 bedroom or 2 bedroom condominium. So it's a bit of a challenge just from a logistics perspective. But more importantly, from a real estate perspective, it doesn't go up in value because you don't actually own any real estate. What you have is a liability. You have a contract which you have to keep paying into, but it doesn't have an asset attached to it. The reason that Casaco and other firms just like ours are doing it differently is we're buying a single family home. It's structured in an LLC into a corporation, and there's only X amount of shareholders. And that property goes up in value, and so do your shares. So again, much more similar, almost identical to the way commercial real estate is transacted and how commercial real estate is sold. Yeah, so a couple things. One is we believe, and I've personally owned a lot of second homes in my lifetime, and own quite a few that we run on as short-term rentals. So a renter, I can tell you from my own experience doing this for a long time, a renter treats a property differently than an owner. When an owner goes to their second home, they try to leave it better. They try to improve it. Whether it's gardening or landscaping or decorating, they're always trying to improve the property. When renters come in, they're making the best use of that property, but they're not thinking about the long-term effects of whatever their actions are. So renters treat properties very differently than owners. So Casaco is an owner's club. It's kind of like Airbnb, but only for owners. So number one, we do not want anyone to buy a Casaco home or become a Casaco member that are looking for returns. They're looking for rental returns, because one of the first rules is there's no rentals at Casaco. These homes are only for owners. And yes, you can bring friends. Yes, you can bring family, but there's no commercial activities. You're not renting it to anyone. So we don't want you to buy a Casaco home thinking you're going to get great rental revenue. You can do that on your own. You can manage your Airbnb business or whatever you want to do. And people have learned that's almost like a second job. It's a lot of work, great business, but it's a lot of work. The other challenge with the rental business is in most second home destinations, most of the desirable second home destinations, they've already passed rules. This all happened in the last 12 months, where you can no longer do a rental under 30 days. Now, why is that significant? I can tell you, having owned a lot of vacation rentals in multiple countries, no one is looking for a vacation rental over 30 days. That market doesn't exist. Almost all vacation rentals are either a few days, a week, 2 weeks max. There is no market for people looking over 30 days. So when they change the rules like they have in Muskoka or the Hamptons or in Malibu or in West Palm Beach, go on and on, and you see, no rentals under 30 days, all those people that bought these vacation homes thinking, that's okay, I can rent it out and make some money. No, you can't, because there is no market under 30 days. So you're going to be sitting with a very expensive vacation home that you're probably going to use less than 30 days a year. and you're not going to have any rental income. So we make it very clear when you invest in Casaco, you're investing in obviously real estate, and over time, over a 50-year track record, for example, all real estate goes up on average 5% a year. So, but we don't want you to buy this looking for 20% rental yields or 20% rental returns. That's not what Casaco is about. This is a place for you to create the greatest memories your family will ever have, and that's what Casaco is about.